Man, and as usual, I use the term ever so loosely. Hey, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's February and it's cold out here. The shop is not heated and I'm freezing. Nonetheless, I love these things so much, I decided to get to work on that engine right there. So I pull the rocker boxes off and look what I find. They are full of oil. Well, they're not supposed to be full of oil. All of them, all four valve pockets are full of oil. You know, they're so full that they're running out and dripping on my floor. Jeez, you know, I try to keep a neat shop, and these people bring me these leaky, drippy motors. It's a mess. Anyway, they could only be caused by one or two things, probably. Either both head gaskets are on backwards and they're blocking the oil drain back holes, or the drain back holes are clogged with gasket substance. We're going to pull these heads off and we're going to take a look and I'll show you. Okay, here's where it starts to get interesting. There is still traces of assembly lube. I found some on the rocker arms, and here we have some assembly lube on top of the valve. Here are some traces of assembly lube on the front intake valve. This leads me to believe that this engine was barely run. Externally it looks pretty good. The paint on the cylinders is nice. The polish job on the cam cover and such is halfway decent. It's got a brand new looking magneto I just pulled out of it. So it looks like somebody rebuilt this thing and only ran it a little bit. I was told it ran horrible. So anyway, let's get these heads off and see what's going on. Alright, moment of truth. Fucking thing, geez, dumping oil down my sleeve. Fuck. Good Lord. Whoa. Interesting. Well, there you go. First part of the problem, or maybe the second part, you got that much oil in a cylinder, it is never a good thing. And as expected, the drain back holes in the head gasket are in the wrong place. They should be right about here and right about here somewhere. You know, most of the engines I get are not here because they died a slow death, the slow natural death. Most of them are here because some ham-fisted fuckstick killed them off. Here's the other head. This is where the drain back hole is, and this is where it should be, somewhere in here. Here's the other one over here. Should be somewhere in this area. So let's see. So far I have found rocker arms in wrong. With the exhaust valve oiler on the intake valve and vice versa. We found a head gasket on backwards, two head gaskets on backwards, and a cylinder full of oil. So this should be kind of an interesting rebuild. You guys have seen me take them apart, so there was really no point in showing all that. But I thought I would show the highlights, so to speak. Okay, I told you I'd show you the highlights. I was actually starting to edit the previous video, and I thought I saw what looked like a crack in the video on this head. So I went back and I looked at the head, and sure as shit, there's a crack. Goes across here, goes across here. I could see it on the inside here. I could see it on the inside here. On the outside, it looks like it might have been welded over, and I really don't see any evidence of the crack on the outside. There are a couple of bubbles, you know, like porosity in a weld or whatever. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Okay, and here is one other bit for the highlight reel. This fin is cracked all the way across. It hasn't broken off yet, but it's on the verge of breaking off. This owner does restorations, and a big piece of this fin missing is probably not going to be acceptable to him. Okay, another little bit of highlight reel. The outer Timken bearing, somebody mashed the bearing cage here and here. There's some corrosion on the race too, so he is getting a new Timken bearing. But anyway, once again, destroyed by being a ham fist, not due to natural wear. And you've heard me bitch about silicone seal before. Here is the Timken race red silicone seal. The engine right now is put together with black silicone seal. So this red silicone seal must be left over from 1 or 2 rebuilds ago. Anyway, it had gotten inside this channel and had started blocking these holes. Beware silicone seal. And my final comment or two. The previous rebuilder found it necessary to mark the rods, front and rear. And personally, I gotta think, if your rebuilder doesn't know that the forked rod goes on the rear all the time, every time, then perhaps he's in just a little bit over his head. You might want to consider who's doing your rebuilding for you. And with that, I'll be out of here. I'll post some more videos of this rebuild, of the interesting parts of it anyway. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Help support the channel. Get yourself a coffee cup. Get yourself a sticker. Available in the links down below.